Hello dear everybody looking at this video today on my channel. This is something completely different than usual. I'm not uploading anything about my adventures, Sri Lanka or working stones. This time I'm showing an old painting done in oil colors on a canvas. I need to tell you that this painting most probably represents Amsterdam, the Singel and the Munttoren, which is a tower in the medieval times where coins were minted, maybe, or something like that. Munt means coin, Münze. And this painting also shows the flower market of the Munttoren beside the Singel, something which still exists today. The question is, when I became the owner of this painting since many years ago, who was the artist? Now that question has already raised many investigations in laboratories. First of all, checking the quality of the item itself. So one thing is sure, I will not elaborate in this video on that matter. There can be other videos done about it. This painting is definitely from the 19th century, not from the 20th. Everything what is making this artwork is from the 19th century. So if you are interested by more about these evidences, just put a comment and we can continue to upload more precise details concerning this painting's origin and composition. So what we see there is a painting done in the 19th century by an artist who is not yet named officially, but I got some doubts when I checked around, and I found a painting in another museum, in a museum in Basel, in the so-called Kunstmuseum Basel, where there is a painting on display showing a view of Paris from Montmartre. It has a reference number F262, which is the number the painting in Basel got by the art historian Jacob Bart de la Faye, who was also making the catalogue raisonné of Vincent van Gogh. In 1928, he published his first book. In those days only books were available, printed and trying to put order in the work of Vincent van Gogh. And that's where he added this painting showing a view of Paris from Montmartre, supposedly, according to him certainly, painted by Van Gogh, Vincent van Gogh. Now why I do say supposedly? Because this painting has actually a pedigree which seems to be really strong, because it was already acquired as a painting made by Vincent van Gogh before the 1900s. So I would say 96, something like that. Somebody ended up selling or giving this painting to the art dealer in Paris. What was his name now? I forgot him. And this art dealer bought it probably for little money. The thing is that I did not find any trace of this painting before that acquisition, and even after the acquisition it is not mentioned precisely in his carnet. Vollard, Vollard was the art dealer who in Paris already bought paintings of Van Gogh when they were still for, like, in those days also not so bad, maybe 500 French francs or something like that. After Van Gogh was dead, there were some swirling around in the local art market, like some galleries maybe had some hanging around since he gave them maybe on consignment or something like that. Suddenly some friends of Van Gogh showed up with some paintings. We have a painting of Van Gogh. You are looking for this guy's paintings. Yeah, I sell it to you. And for some reason, Vollard was convinced that this painting, View of Paris from Montmartre, was a genuine Vincent van Gogh painting, and he bought it. I cannot even be sure that he bought it. It's just mentioned in the description of this painting that Van Gogh painted it. So nobody was there to check that, by the way. And then he must have given it, or somehow he was not the owner of it anymore. And then in 6 years after his death, Vollard bought it. We don't know from whom. And why I'm insisting so much on that question? The fact is that Vollard is now the origin of this painting. And everything after Vollard, including, of course, de la Faye, who was finding this painting in a collection already. It went through the hands of some art dealers who have later also connection to the same painting to sell it to Switzerland. And all of them must know that there's a gap of several years between the ownership of Vollard and the supposed to be hand-painted work of Vincent van Gogh for this painting. Now, you could say, but that's obviously a Vincent van Gogh painting. Yeah, it's fine, why not? I would so much like it. Because in my research now, which I'm just publishing like this on YouTube, I don't care anymore for the connoisseurs and the high-speed art historians who never reply to any messages or who don't have time to check anything what I do on this painting since quite a time. Then I'm just publishing and I ask the normal people for their opinion. I like to share. I'm sharing for free, okay? So the thing is that on this artwork, F262, View of Paris from Montmartre, there appears a house which is painted in a very special way with these dotted windows and all this. And that on my painting, which I'm describing here, which I will call the flower market painting, the houses are also there. I mean, I say these are the same houses painted by the same paintbrush, the same style and even the same size on this painting showing something like the Netherlands. Now, if the artist was not the same, I wonder how this can happen, that somebody was painting so closely that you could even, I was doing it in Photoshop, stick the houses together and you wouldn't even notice that this is not a row of houses but separate houses just sticking together after somebody has cut them out on Photoshop. I never got a reply, an answer about this particular thing. One thing which I know to do is to read all published art research about this painting, View of Paris from Montmartre. So I found it in a book printed by the Van Gogh Museum. So it's not some private investigator, it's a Van Gogh Museum made a kind of research about this painting and showed some picture of it and was describing what is visible on the painting. So we can understand that we see what is on that painting, so I don't need to elaborate too much what was in that text. But the result of this 1 or 2 pages description is that there's actually not much written about the anomalies, or let's say the particular unusual things which we can see with the bare eye on the painting View of Paris from Montmartre, which is on the left side down, this black signature Vincent. Now Vincent, black signature, why not? But what is around the signature is already a little bit more strange. This brown kind of covering up there something. So I was thinking, is this now a bare land? They're building Paris and that soil is maybe brown color and it's not finished there. They're building something. It's like, or Vincent got maybe in a hurry, had to finish the painting and just put some mud all over the place. When I looked more close, and I had a look at the original painting behind the glass, I traveled to Denmark, where it was on display for some time, to see that I was right, that on that image which I saw first, a digital image, you can see there's something else written there and it has been covered. Now, Vincent may have written something there and changed his mind, erased it so badly that we can still read letters, and then took some paintbrush and just covered all up because it was looking damaged. Or was it somebody else doing this? We don't know. The question is why in any kind of published paper, which I could find at least, there's nothing mentioned about this. It's like the art historians who know everything and the museum owners or managers, they could write, oh, we discovered there's something written down there just beside the signature of Vincent van Gogh. And it's already 100 years, everybody could see that with the bare eyes, but nobody took the time to look and write something about it. Now, I'm also not writing, I'm just talking now, but I made some pictures. And I will come to the point that my argument in my research, it's a proposition, it is not an affirmation, is that the painting 262 from supposedly painted by Vincent van Gogh, or whoever painted it, that this person also painted the Amsterdam, or let's say flower market picture. That is my suggestion. I suggest that the artist of both paintings was the same person. Now, was it once Vincent van Gogh? We have to check more on the View of Paris from Montmartre painting. If there's nothing wrong with these scratched areas and this signature may be added later, and some name disappearing or some word, maybe dedication, if all this is still okay and it's really a Vincent van Gogh painting of Paris from 1886, then I would like to know how comes that on the Amsterdam painting, which I suggest this is Amsterdam, why the houses are so similarly painted that we can stick them side by side and it wouldn't make, you don't need to be a studied art historian to see that this looks really very, very, very close, like somebody had the same paintbrush, even the same time when he painted basically both things, more or less. Now, this may make laugh some people. Okay, just look at it closer and don't think about all the years you studied art. Just look there in front of you. What do you see and what is your explanation about that thing, you know? We cannot rip anything out of context. But if this painting is from the 19th century and you can admit that, and you can see that these houses and these windows and these gutters and even the way the colors and impasto, everything is thrown on this painting is so similar to that place which we know as being Paris, definitely, then please, would be so great to get some feedback about this. This research is not finished, it's going to last for many more years if necessary. It's just done on the side like this. Now this YouTube video is like, I was just thinking, wait, I have so many of these photos which have been scanned, digitalized, spectral cameras, laboratory, money invested thousands of euros. Why shouldn't I just show them now? Why do I need to make some perfect research report, which I will have no time to do now? I just throw this thing online. I want my story to be visible about this painting today. You see, Google, thank you. Google is going to put my painting in a good position, my research, my video, and there will be some Van Gogh fans and some Amsterdam fans and some Paris View of Montmartre fans finally getting aware of this unusual story of a painting. Now, this painting has even more interesting things. Now I'm talking about the flower market painting. First of all, there was a sticker, and there is a small sticker on the wooden frame which shows somebody working frames in Dresden. Now Dresden is a city, used to be the capital of the Saxons, and there was a big art museum in that area. That doesn't mean that this painting which I'm talking about was in the art museum. It was maybe passing through some interesting hands. That's already one thing. The other thing is that on that frame are fingerprints on it. And that's also unusual because fingerprints, black paint, somebody really not treating that frame very well, because if you paint, you know how to paint without making everything full of your fingerprints, you know. So that was not that professional frame maker from Dresden who has done that work. Was his work just to consolidate the painting, and then he added that little sticker of his as a reference, so if you need something you come back to see me? That may be one thing, because that painting was already something special in that time for somebody who said, please don't change the frame, don't touch nothing, just put me here some little nail or whatever. That could be one explanation. I was thinking about this. On the painting flower market, there are also these fingerprints on it. Somebody has been grabbing the canvas. There's a big fingerprint on one side, on the side of the fresh painted canvas, which was painted in several times, because there are several layers of different hardened paint, which means that the oldest layer had also something a little bit different on it than what is now the top layer. Okay, I'm going too much in the details. I mean, while showing these slideshow pictures, just throwing them on the YouTube and let's see what will happen. I'm talking now a little bit in the same time, so it's not too boring to look at these photos. I can make another video much more refined with more images fitting to my narrative, and you can be sure that if you have the slightest interest in knowing more about this painting, I am so happy to provide a better video and a better information and a better report about this research which I do for you, whoever you are. If you think that this painting is also interesting, by the way, there have been people interested by it. So what did I do already? Wait. I of course sent a photograph to the Van Gogh Museum years ago. I'm not complaining, because the answer was first send us a letter that you are the owner, send us a picture, send us something more you know about this painting, and we come back to you. I was so happy to get that letter, I kept it. The answer was, we don't need to look at your picture further, it is not a Van Gogh according to our experience, and we may be wrong. That is the typical sentence they have to add at all answers, because if they are wrong, they don't want to be held responsible, because they are some kind of high-ranking authority, so they should not make mistakes. But they say, We may make mistakes, so you can never blame us. And I will never blame them. Why should I? I was just thinking how sad that they don't even want to have a look at it closer, because it's possible to bring it and show it to the expert. This comparison between the painting View of Paris from Montmartre and this painting, Flower Market, has even never been done, considered. Nobody ever said, oh yeah, that's funny, but it's not the blah 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 blah. No, it's just like, we don't care, go away. So this was the Van Gogh Museum. We know that the Van Gogh Museum is very busy, and I had somebody actually, that's like to feel a little bit better about all this. I had somebody who used to work in the Van Gogh Museum for years, and he told me, no, but wait, this is not surprising. That is very possible that somebody not even had a look more than a few seconds at your photograph, because that's the way it is. They get so many letters of people imagining that they have a Vincent van Gogh painting, that if they would spend all the time on all of these, there's the whole world doing that all the time, people sending them. It's too much work. They don't go into details anymore with such stuff. That's what I was told. I think, okay, I will go into details further. So there was another man, I will not tell his name, because I think on YouTube we should also respect some people for their privacy. It's a very good man. It's a museum director of a big museum, and he saw this painting on very good pictures. I'm talking about the Flower Market painting, and he said, he told me, this is a very good painting. I cannot, no, I'm sorry, I cannot tell you that I would think that this is a Vincent van Gogh painting, because simply I'm already thinking that Vincent van Gogh was not even able to paint in this way. He was suggesting that this artist was much more skilled than Vincent van Gogh to do a painting like that. Now I was telling him, oh my dear, that's a kind of half compliment. I would say that it could be, well, the best painting of Amsterdam ever done by Vincent van Gogh himself. And that's it. That's how it looks like. This is the one. That's the one. That's the one the Van Gogh Museum would have for the people from Amsterdam, and it would be such a great news that this painting exists. But it's not possible that Vincent van Gogh was painting such a great painting of the Flower Market, which he mentioned 2 times in his letters, where he had an experience of seeing a lovely small girl selling flowers, and he was writing to his brother about it before he was even an artist. That this market existed in the mind of Vincent van Gogh. So that's kind of connection. It's something he knew, this market. It's not Flower Market in New York City or whatever, or in Berlin or southern France. You know, this is a Flower Market of his Amsterdam, and that's the painting of Amsterdam, the best one in the Impressionist style of 1886, painted by Vincent van Gogh in Paris. That's the thing. And my thought is that Theo took this painting with him to the Netherlands to show to that other uncle who wanted to maybe sponsor a gallery. I think that is a possibility, because there have been some paintings taken by Theo on that trip in the summer 1886, but we don't know which ones. I'm just saying, maybe it was one like this he made, showing Amsterdam to his uncle, painted in the style of Monet. Now, okay, I'm now having enough of this introduction. I will upload some more photos to make this narrative fit the length of the display. Whoever has time to look at this video till this moment, I think that you have been interested. Thanks for any kind of comment. Thanks for keeping in touch and having a look at my next chapters about this interesting research about a painting which may be painted by Vincent van Gogh, showing the Amsterdam flower market.